All right, so we previously talked about how, AI kind of has, the decision-making process of an AI agent. Again, this is for people who have zero experience in programming, zero experience in math, because we're going from zero all the way to the end, right? That's what I want to do. And that's my attempt in doing this. If you have, because normally you would probably have to take a programming course, you have to take a math course, and then you can actually start studying AI. I kind of find that annoying. I know some people find that annoying, especially if you're like super ADHD like I am and I just want to jump right into the action. Well, this is my attempt to actually fix that. So we're teaching you programming and all the tools that you need to know while reflecting upon AI as if we were inventing AI ourselves. So if that's something that's interesting, then this series is like literally for you. So, because that's what AI is a transdisciplinary area. It mixes a whole bunch of academic disciplines. There is no one perfect way to study AI because AI is not like history. You're not just studying history, right? It's not like, I don't know, biology. You're not just studying biology, right? It's not chemistry. AI is you're studying math, but you're also studying computer science, but you're also studying a little bit of philosophy, but you're also studying language, right? You're studying a whole bunch of different fields. So it could be overwhelming. So, last time we talked about the essence of AI. What if we're inventing AI ourselves? Well, we talked about how AI is, in essence, like human beings, agentic. It's making a decision, but it's also making a prediction. Those are the two aspects of AI. One, it's making a prediction, and two, it's making a decision. So, if you have a machine that can make an approximation of reality or data, but it also makes a decision based on that data, then you essentially have AI, artificial intelligence, or you essentially have an AI agent, right? Which is talked about now, like a lot of them. These days, man, you hear AI agents all over the place. You hear agentic AI, but no one really, like, it's this buzzword, agentic AI, but we've already had agency before. Like, it's nothing new. It's literally just a bunch of if-else statements. I mean, it's a lot more to it, but agency is just a computer making a decision if a condition is true or not true. And then if you can connect that aspect to the prediction aspect, then you can have an AI agent. So if you look at ChatGPT, for example, this is just a large language model that predicts the next token. Now, there's a lot more to it, especially nowadays with the advanced reasoning models, where it uses things like Monte Carlo algorithms that allows it to basically see more possibilities, if that makes sense. It uses a whole bunch of other algorithms to make more advanced reasoning. But in essence, like the basic models, like the GPT 3.5 when it came out, is really just about predicting the next token. So if I say, hi, how are you? I'm not going to be able to predict what the AI is going to respond, right? And that's the key difference between just regular explicit programming. This is just explicit programming, as we talked about in the previous video. There's a difference between that and implicit programming, where you don't know what the output is going to be. You could probably have an idea, like if I say, hi, how are you? I kind of have an idea of how the model is going to respond. It's probably going to be like, hey, yeah, I'm doing good, or thanks for asking, or I don't have feelings, something like that, right? It's probably going to respond in that specific way. I have an idea of how it's going to respond, but I don't know exactly what it's going to respond, like I do in this code, for example. I know that if, again, check my previous video, I know that if, like, this is my variable. This is the data in my variable right now. If this is false, this is not going to execute. If this statement is not true, this is not going to execute. If none of these are true, then it's going to execute this. I know, it's a funny example, explode the car, whatever. I'm not as creative as I think I am, so I just invented a random scenario right there. So I can already predict, just by looking at the code, I can predict what the AI is going to do. In implicit programming, you don't know what the AI is going to do. Even if you do look at the code, if I go into ChatGPT, if I look at the code behind ChatGPT, even if I'm the best programmer in the world, I am not going to have certainty as to how the model is going to respond. And that's the key difference between traditional programming and AI programming, or implicit programming. So that's what I'm going to be talking about today. I said how AI, so this is determinism. This is the deterministic approach. It's not a very efficient approach. Trust me. Like, imagine having to, like, if we're coding out a self-driving car, imagine me having to, like, code out all the possible scenarios, right? Imagine, like, I need to code every single possible scenario. Like, what if a car is next to me? What if the car is maybe 3 meters next to me? Maybe 2 meters next to me, or 10 meters next to me? Okay, that's just for the car, like, to my right? What about for the car to my left? What about the car behind me? What about the car in front of me? What about taking into account the lanes, right? The road that I'm in, if a person is in front of me or not. So there's just so many scenarios. Imagine all the if-else statements that I would have to code out. It's very inefficient. This is why the deterministic approach does not work. And this is why we haven't had AI for a long time. Because your computer right now is just using a deterministic approach. That's all it's doing. It's like when you're using an application like Google Chrome, YouTube, or whatever, it's just reacting to your actions. But that's all it's doing. It's all deterministic. Like if I was able to look at the code behind YouTube and you were to click on a video, I automatically know what's going to happen. It's going to render that video. If I can already see the code and I can predict what's going to happen. With AI, ChatGPT or AI models, for example, that's not how it works. And that's true for large language models, right? For text. That's also true for computer vision as well. And that's also true for image generation, and it's also true for video generation. You can never know exactly what the AI is going to do. So it's not deterministic. If it's not deterministic, then what's the opposite of determinism? It's randomness. So if the opposite of determinism is randomness, then we need to take a random approach to AI. But we don't want the AI to just be super random. Otherwise, then what the heck is it doing? No, we want to provide structured randomness. And the field that studies structured randomness is called statistics. Alright, so that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Again, this is part of our AI Unlocked series where we go from 0 all the way to 100, where we basically learn how AI works as if we were inventing AI ourselves with zero background, zero programming background, zero math background. We're trying to dive deep into the concepts. We're imagining like, okay, if we had to start from zero, if society didn't invent AI, if we didn't have ChatGPT right now or none of these things, how would you invent AI, right? From zero programming, with zero programming experience, just with the basics of Python, how can we slowly build ourselves to actually building an entire neural network from scratch or building an entire transformer from scratch? The algorithm that powers ChatGPT. How would we do that, hypothetically? That's what the series is about, by the way. If you enjoyed it, like it, share it, comment. If you want to see some stuff, some cool stuff or whatever, just comment. You know, just if you have some questions, comment. If you have some critiques, comment. If you have some suggestions, comment. If you know anybody who's also interested in this, share the video. And please subscribe, man. Like, if this is something that you enjoy, subscribe. Yeah, because this is something that we're doing weekly, on a weekly basis. I'm trying to, like, upload at least 2 to 3 videos each week. So this is something that we're going to be continuing for the rest of the year, and whoever knows how long this is going to take. So with that being said, thanks. Bye.